Jet, aka the Preacher, and I'm like super excited. I've been out all morning in the streets, praying for people, meeting people, talking to people. I'm telling you, you have to do things that are uncomfortable. I'm all about, hey, what do I say? I'm the CEO and the founder of IgniteHer Country Club, where I stretch her faith. And guess what? That means I got to get out there and stretch my own faith too. I just can't be, a speaker of the word. I have to be a doer of the word too. And so this morning, that is exactly what I did. Went out in the streets and stretched my faith, and I used that prayer as a roadmap to get me right straight into, I'm in my purpose, but to keep me in that purpose. And so I'm excited, y'all, because listen, I have Miss Jessica Canty in the building, and she has agreed to come in and sit down and chit chat with me on this Black Friday. And so I am so super excited because Jessica is another one of the Ignite Her Country Club experts. And so, Jessica, why don't you introduce yourself? I'm not going to do you any justice. I just want y'all to welcome Miss Jessica Canty, who is the CEO, founder of the Personal Growth Coach LLC. She's a womanpreneur, an author, a speaker, a career coach, a mother, a sister. So just be quiet. Go ahead, Jessica, girl. Introduce yourself.
And after that, maybe I'm a tired person too. All those titles and roles I fulfill. Well, I'm excited because I like Georgette said, I am a life and career strategist. I have a passion for helping melanin millennial moms who want high achieving careers, and that is in between doing laundry. And so I love I love really talking about careers, especially in light of 2020. We've got a lot of things that have thrown us off. That have disrupted plans and have really taken some of the control of what we've done in our careers. And so I'm excited about talking to people today about how they can get their career back on track, how they can get promoted in light of raise freezes and promotion freezes. We can still chart the path forward to have a fulfilling career. So I'm excited about talking about some of that subject today. Christmas is coming up. We got to have a salary for it, so I can't wait.
Yes, and I just found out something very interesting. Jessica has 10 siblings, and she's right in the middle. You talking about what? I was like, wow, it's only four of us, so I can't even imagine, like, what it was like this year, with everything that is going on with Thanksgiving and not being able to be around your whole family. So let's just talk about that just a little bit, because I think it's important. So how was that experience for you, like not being able to be with everyone? And
I don't think I realized it till yesterday just how impactful it would be. And so my family and I really decided to follow best practice and the guidance the CDC was offering, and that we were going to have a small and intimate Thanksgiving. And as I was telling you earlier, it's definitely an adjustment because I'm actually one of 11 siblings, and it could easily be upwards of 30 people or more at my parents' house for Thanksgiving. This year was less than 10 people. It meant that I could have like first dibs on certain food. For the first time since I was before I can remember, I had first dibs on the chocolate cake and the sweet potato pie, on its extra calories. But it was definitely made me reflect even more about the importance of relationships. And I'm such a big fan of powerful connections. And so I think I learned it from my family that connections are very powerful and they're able to mobilize dreams. So I'm excited about being able to see what that looks like in 2021.
I love that. Connections are able to mobilize dreams. That's a t-shirt right there. Like, always trying to make a shirt. I love it. So, well, I'm not going to hold you long, Jessica, because I know you need to get back to your family, but I'm excited, and I just want to take this time to just even thank you for sitting down and agreeing to meet with me on this day after Thanksgiving. And so I appreciate it. So I just want to go ahead. I just have a couple questions, so we can drop some nuggets and just help people out because it has been one of those years that has been unexpected. And so people are searching, seeking, looking, trying to figure out how to readjust or what it is that they need to do. So I just wanted to know, why is it even important to have career goals, to have interview techniques, and to even work with a coach? Like, why is that important?
It's incredibly important. As a matter of fact, I think it's the establishment of a career that you feel fulfilled and you're working in your passion and on purpose. So I'm gonna take each of those in turn. So it's important to have career goals because a lot of times what people do is they act in desperation and they choose distractions disguised as opportunities where they are in positions or they're on a hamster wheel of I hate my job. I hate my job. They don't see me for who I am. And it really is because they have not taken the time to establish the mission and vision of their unique gifts and talents. Who are you? Why are you created? And what are the issues you're built to address? What are the solutions you are created to design? And so if you don't have the goals, you're going to always be on that rat race like, oh my goodness, well look, I'll sell this because everybody's selling this. I'll sell this jewelry. I'll sell this makeup. I'll sell this. And then you're wondering why, 20 years into your career, you're still not feeling fulfilled. So it is vital. If you don't want to feel like you're being used and misused, where you're getting more month than paycheck, I definitely encourage you to have career goals. The other thing is interview techniques. I think it's incredibly important to have interview techniques because one of the things I teach is about the myths behind career development. And one of the myths that a lot of my clients believe, and a lot of people in cubicle country out there believe, is that an interview is an opportunity for you to present your skills. That's what people think. People think, I'm going in, and an interview is an opportunity for me to talk about what's on my resume. Let me let you in on a secret. That's not what it's for. I've had stellar extensive HR history. And one of the things I used to do was I used to do phone interviews. So I couldn't see you physically. And when you would come into the office, I was actually interviewing you as you came in. And so what I was doing was seeing, are you a right fit for our company? There's the secret. The interview is only to see, do you fit our culture? Because sometimes they'll work with what you wrote on your resume. Some companies are willing to train you. Some companies are willing to send you away so that you can get some more mentoring and tutoring. But if you're not a right fit for their company, they're not going to invest in you. So it's vitally important. If you want to have a fulfilling career, a high achieving career, you need to have interview techniques. Which leads me to that last part of the question. Why is it important to work with a coach? Well, I'm a bit biased because I like to always teach what worked for me. One of the things that I was in a few years ago was I was in an unfulfilling job. I woke up on Monday morning and I absolutely hated getting out of bed to go to work. At that time on Sundays when my family would ask me, Mom, are you ready for work on Monday? I said, don't talk about work. I'm not going to talk about it till Monday morning. And so I had no joy in my career. So I had to figure out something. My salary, my bank account was laughing at me every time I tried to go to the grocery store. And I was like, something has got to change. And so what I did was I tested best practices. I tried on different techniques. And one of the things that really stuck was to have a career executive board. Now, your career executive board is your role model, your mentor, your coach, and your sponsor. If you didn't catch it, I'm going to say it one more time. Your role model, your mentor, your coach, and your sponsor. And that coach is somebody who's going to systematically lay out the steps on how to be successful in your career. So some of us are, one of my mentors says, you have to kick the tires. Meaning a lot of us like to browse a lot of different techniques and, I'm going to try this on because this is free, or I'm going to spend $10 for that workshop. And we don't like to get in there and do the hard work. We want it quick. But a coach is going to give you long-lasting results. They're going to give you those long-lasting, life-changing results. So just like if you were like me, I don't know about anybody else who's on here with us today, but I was a cheerleader. I was a dancer. I did all those things in school. And I had to have a coach to protect me from injuries, to lay out the plan, to fine-tune this vessel that was going to get me out there to do the job. It's the same way. They're going to try to make sure you avoid those career curveballs. We don't want you to fall into those pitfalls. And so that's why it's incredibly important to avoid frustration, to avoid getting lowball salary offers, to avoid being ignored or crushed by isms in the workspace. You need a coach to help you to circumvent those challenges.
Come on here now. Yes. I love the analogy of the cheerleading, and it's true. You know, there's coaches in everything that we do. Everything, you know, professionally, when you think about football, basketball, I mean, all of those things that these people get paid millions of dollars to do, they're still under a coach.
Absolutely.
And guess what? But the coach is just the director. He's, like you said, he puts the systems in place. But you, as the player, guess what? You do the hard work.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times people will think, oh, you're a career coach, let me send you the resume and just redo my resume for me. And I always tell people that's not the way I operate, because if I send you a resume, you'll always come back to me. Whenever I work with you, I want to set you up for success so that you know how to do it on your own, so that you're not missing the talents. Because over and over again, I see people who create resumes that forget their non-paid experiences, that forget the things they've been doing since high school. And so my job is to show you how you've been doing this for years, how you've been stellar at this. And again, to avoid the injury of not being promoted, of being passed over promotions, of not even knowing raises were available, even in hiring freezes. So coaches do that, and they have the experience of bumping their head. I'll raise my hand. I bump my head so you don't have to, okay? Most coaches have played the sport before. I've been there before. I've had the embarrassing moments and missed opportunities. I don't want you to have that. So that's what I'm here to help you with.
Yes, I love it. Fire! Fire is igniting already. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so I saw this interesting question that you had a live about, and I wanted to know, because of course, you know, values are very important and where I stand with. So I just wanted to know, like, what do you do if your career doesn't align, or that's supposed to be aligned? See, we're going too fast. Align with your values, not allow. But if it doesn't align with your values, then what can you do?
Awesome question. So the first thing I want to tell you is don't panic. If you didn't hear me, don't panic. Because again, I've been there before. I've been in positions where I had to speak publicly about things I didn't agree with. And the very first thing I did was I had anxiety, and I was panicking, like, what do I do? This is not in alignment with my faith. This is not in alignment with the woman that I say I want to be. And I went through panic. And when you do that, when you make decisions out of panic, out of fear, out of crisis mode, it's never operating in wisdom, and it's never going to put you in a space where you can achieve goals. So you want to be very, very careful about that. Very first thing you want to do is don't panic. That's the first thing. The second thing you want to do is, if you have values and you've written them out clearly, take a deep breath and pull them out. One of the things I make my clients do is you have to write down your values and your mission. Before I even do your resume, before I even get you ready for an interview, I'm not going to prepare you to fail or prepare you to be back in a space where you don't like your job. I tell my clients, we're going to develop your mission statement. We're going to develop your values. So if you have not already, pull out, you want to write down what you value, your top 3 values. So if someone were to ask me, I know it's faith, I know it's family, and I know it's establishing a pattern of wealth in the earth. And I'm talking about well-being across those are my 3 top values. So I'm never going to pick a job where my faith is compromised. I'm never going to go out for an opportunity where my family time is going to be compromised. So I always have that in front of me. If I'm ever an opportunity that seems like it's a get-rich-quick scheme, I'm going to leave it alone, because I'm talking about generational wealth. So if you, in fact, are in that space, 1, don't panic. 2, pull out your values. And number 3, what I want you to do is to have a conversation with your career executive board. Because sometimes we can have a bad day. And I don't know about you, but we've been in enough relationships with family, friends, loved ones, co-workers, to know that sometimes you just have a bad day, and you don't want to quit a job because you had a bad day. You know what I mean? You don't want to miss out on a payment because you had a bad day. And so that's why I always say, talk to your people. What would your role model do? If you don't have a role model, you're already putting yourself in a position to be unfulfilled in your job. Did you talk to your mentor? Is your mentor not just a yes person? Are they going to give you some hard truths? Did your coach say, hang in there, switch departments? Did your sponsor say, okay, it's time to quit and I want you to apply for this job. I'm going to make sure you get it. So that's the 3 things I would say. When you found that your job does not align with your values, don't panic. Go back to your values. And then you want to have a conversation with your e-board because they're going to help you to chart your path forward to decide maybe I should leave this job or maybe it's just this boss that I need to transfer departments.
Yes. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. And the executive board, like that was just that's a whole nugget right there.
It is because the thing is, a lot of times when I talk about executive board, most people will turn their ears off because they say, I'm not an entrepreneur. But the thing I always tell my clients is you want to treat your career like the business that it is. So all the businesses that are out there successful, and I know you know this, Georgia, because we have to be that as entrepreneurs. We have to be the CEO, the CFO, the marketer, all that. You need to do that for yourself. I'm always telling them, be your own brand manager. Why don't you have a landing page for your resume? Why don't you have a @janedoe.com just for you? You want to make yourself so readily accessible that opportunities chase you. And so if 2020 has not taught us anything, is that your opportunity is not going to knock at your door unless you make yourself available to it. This is the year of the pivot. So we definitely want to be able to do that effectively.
Yes. So speaking of that, finding your executive board and your coach and your mentor, how do you find the right coach, the right mentor, or your right tribe? Like, how do you go about doing that?
Awesome. So I'm going to break it down. Each one, coach, mentor, tribe. So for the first thing I want you to know is that the coach should be experienced. So, I don't know if the children are still saying this. I'm probably showing my age when they say, show me the receipts, The kids might used to be saying, I'm not sure. But you need to check to see what their experience is. And I say that because there are so many career coaches out there. There's a plethora. Like, if you go on Instagram right now, any other social media platform, especially on LinkedIn, you're going to find a career coach. Because here's the truth. Anybody can do a pop-up and say, I'm a career coach. You can become a career coach after anybody's name. So you really want to check to see what work have they done? Who have they worked with? Because sometimes what one career coach can do for somebody else is not a good fit for you. So I always introduce myself and I say, I help melanin millennial moms who want high achieving careers. Can I teach someone who doesn't have any melanin? Absolutely, I have. Can I teach someone who's not a millennial? I've helped them make earn an additional $50,000 in a year, and they weren't a millennial. Can I teach someone who's not a mom? Absolutely. But if you know you're a melanin millennial mom and you need some support, then I'm that exact coach that you need. So you want to find their expertise. You want to check their receipts and see if they'll talk to you. See if they'll talk to you. And you can feel their vibe. Like for me, I always say, get on a career call with me. One thing you're going to walk away from, the main thing is you're going to see if I'm a good fit for you. I'm not one of those people that will say, you know what, you've got to buy with me. But I want to make sure that we're a good fit for each other. You're going to leave knowing whether or not we're a good fit. Another thing you're always going to leave a call with me with is to know what your next best step is in your career. If the career coach can't do that for you, they're not a good career coach. Now, in terms of finding your good mentor, I always say net connection versus networking. And you always want to start right where you are. Some people get nervous about networking because it's like, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I present myself as not professional? But you want to think about it. Think about your 5 closest connections and then build from there. One of the things that I found my mentor in, literally, she was my role model in the professional space. I noticed her from afar and I just watched the way she dressed. I watched the way she worked. I watched her breaks. A little bit stalkerish, but I learned a lot. And one day I told her, I said, I really would like a mentor. And she said, well, what do you want from a mentor? I put together a career profile, which I now do for my clients. And I said, this is what I need help with. And this is how it will benefit you to help me. So if you find a mentor, because a lot of times people say, oh yeah, she's my mentor, but you only talk to her once a year. That's not your mentor, okay? I'm talking about somebody you can talk to at least twice a month, who's going to give you time. If they're too busy, they're not a good mentor. Sometimes we think because they're busy, that means that they're out there doing great things. No, if they're too busy for you, that's not the right mentor for you. So you want to find somebody that can commit to at least 2 hours a month to actually be dedicated in your career. And your mentor has to be somebody who's further along in the profession you want to excel in. Not somebody, if you want to be a candlestick maker, don't have a baker for a mentor. Okay? You want somebody who's been there, done that. Now, that's a little bit different than a career coach, because a career coach doesn't have to be in your field to tell you how to orchestrate all the information you're going to learn from your role model, your mentor, and your sponsor. But if you're going to pick a mentor, you want a mentor that's in your field. Now, the other thing you asked me is about the tribe. So the tribe is important. I've been there. I have actually paid to be a part of masterminds, and they are incredibly beneficial to learn about how to be an entrepreneur, how to be a minority entrepreneur. There's so many paid tribes out there. But if you're not ready to invest in a paid tribe, my suggestion is to make social media be your friend. There's all these free groups online. Join that. You want to make sure you're joining those careers. And if you can't find the right tribe online, go to your HR. Ask them, what are you doing to develop the talent at this agency, at this company? And then establish your tribe there. I've even been so big and so bad and so I went to the director of my agency and I was like, he's going to be my tribe. He didn't know it at the time, but there were no other resources available to me. I didn't know how to navigate the social media space. So I definitely say the easiest way is to go to social media, go to HR, and then I go to the director. They want to know about the talent that they've hired. So letting them know, listen, I see myself in management. What do you think I need to do to get there? So that's how you build your tribe. Start where you are. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Let me look and see I forgot to say, if you guys have any comments or questions, anything that you want to come in and ask Jessica or myself, please feel free to put those in the comments, and we will definitely get to them. And so I want to know, what's the value when you connect with you?
Absolutely. It's an interesting question, because sometimes people think that they're joining communities, and what will happen is that I'm linking forces with the competition. The competition is in the group. So if I link, and share resources, I could be sharing resources with somebody who's going to replace me on my job. That's not what's happening. And it's also not a place to promote your business. That's the other side too. Let me say that too. A lot of times people will join communities just so they can say, oh, come buy this lip gloss that's on sale, or come buy my car mechanic services. But the value in it is that you're making lifelong connections. Like I mentioned to you, I actually participated in 2 different masterminds, and I'm still in contact with those masterminds, with the ladies I worked with in those masterminds. And as a matter, actually participated in 3 different ones. I'm still in connection with them. And when I say lifelong connections, we now promote each other's businesses. I now can see how I can help my clients based on the challenges I saw that they had. So it's really about learning and looking at a different lens and being able to apply it to your specific career. So maybe you join the prayer tours, right? You may not have the same prayer as everybody in there, but you're able to take the spotlight, if you will, off of you, get something from an expert, because most times those communities have some expert that's in there, and make your support tribe. Build your support tribe. Maybe there's just a friend that you can just vent to. And everything doesn't have to necessarily be a business connection, but there's always the potential there for it.
Exactly. I love it. I mean, and it is so, like, we just can't do this alone. And, we can sit here together. I'm a coach too. You're a coach, but it's different. You know what I mean? I don't coach. I'm not a career coach. Yes, I have, coaching that's after my name, but that's not, it doesn't matter. Like, we can still operate, we can still work together. You can still be in my community, you can still be in my network, and we can still be here. It's no competition, it's no, the more that we have, the more that we know, the more that we can grow, and so it's about just forming those relationships. And you and I met at another event. We met at McWin, that we were posting ideas, and we just connected. And like, ever since then, we've just connected. And that's the whole community. I mean, it's about the community and finding. And so that's what I tell people. And like, it's just so important, like, that you find your tribe. And it's okay, like, if this tribe is not for you, and I think that people find it's so hard to say that. They want. I'm not talking about it, but it's okay. Like, I'm at a point where if this is not, I just want you to find your tribe. Like, that's really my heart. Like, I want you to find your tribe, so then you can do what you need to do to ride this thing to the wheels fall off. Like, and truly be in your purpose and be where it is that you want to be, so you don't, are not like Jessica when she on Sunday nights that she was hating getting up to go to work on Monday morning. Like, that stuff is real. Like, it's real.
But you know what, Georgette? I think it's a mindset. And I think, unfortunately, especially for people of color, we have a generational mindset that says we're going to do it all on our own. And it's also a lack mindset because wealthy people build community to keep their wealth. Educated people build community to always be in the know, to always be a step ahead. So what do you think all those hedge funds are for? What do you think all of those, when we're talking about buying into securities and all the rich people conversations, it's because they had somebody on the inside to say, this is what you need to invest in. You want to do it legally. Do it legally. but really, none of us can do it alone. And here's the thing though, Georgia, and I forgot to mention this. 85% of jobs are built through networking. 85%. So why would you want to struggle in that last little percent and do it on your own when you can expedite your goals? So even in the prayer tours, even in the country club, maybe it's not me that you want to talk to. Maybe it's not a career coach. Maybe it's some emotional goal you want to reach, some physical goal you want to reach. But why struggle in that last little percent when 85% of the people are out there doing it and getting done faster because they made use of their community? Yeah. So much of the world. Yeah. It's beyond nepotism. It's really about building that support net for yourself.
Yes. And now, I actually came up with the word because I'm like, maybe I know a lot of people are doing memberships now, and when they do, I like for a membership. So I was in the shower. I always get my ideas in the shower and through dreams, crazy places. But it came to me the word sistership, and I was like, you know what? I'm changing. It's not a member. It's a sistership. Like, because that's truly what it's about, and just helping one another out and truly getting there. Because I'm telling you, when I just became a new grandmom, and it's like, I'm looking at my granddaughter, and I'm like, you know what? It's really about building this generational wealth. It needs to have, like, I don't want her to have to continue to go through this life and struggling and trying to make things work and happen. And and I'm not saying that we don't have to do it, but if I can do something so that it will be less. Yes, she's gonna have her own cross the bears and burdens and all of those things, but it's a little bit different when you got some wealth a little bit, on behind you.
And again, that's why wealthy parents set up college funds and trust funds, because they don't want their children to have to struggle. And I'm tracking with you. I told my 10-year-old, I said, listen, mommy's building this business so that when it's time for you to get a summer job, you're already hired. You don't have to worry about all the struggles that everybody else went through. And I said, I'm teaching you it now. Like, she already has a resume. Poor child being raised by a career coach. But I already gave her her elevator speech. I said, this is how you introduce yourself to people. Poor child. But honestly, like, I think we have to begin to think about that, because sometimes, and I'm not discrediting the fact that as people of color, we haven't really had access to those opportunities to be able to build those wealth in the financial sense, but we need to be able to build that intellectually so that it can show up in the natural sense.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that, it's like, it's everything, and I think, like you said, it's the whole mindset, and just, that's why this, the country club, and just having you guys and the experts, so that it can be a one-stop shop that you can come, like you said, and you're not running on this hamster wheel, that you come in to this sistership, now have a new word.
I love it. That should be on a t-shirt.
Yes, I just got it like this morning in the shower. I'm so serious, and I was like, oh yes, like this sistership, come in and get everything that you need, because I know how difficult it was to to build these businesses and get to where we are. So if I can, like you said, I can assist you to get there. I'm not going to say faster. But if I can give you the resources that you need, because nothing is fast. fast, like you said. There's no such thing as an overnight success. I always say it's 10 years to become an overnight success. So I'm not even going to use the word, I'm going to give it to you faster. Like, I'm being 100 straight. It's a journey. It's things that you have to go through that. However, if I can help you navigate through and give you the resources,
Absolutely.
and then so into what it is that you're doing, because another struggle is that we don't have the resources, we don't have the finances, we don't have those things behind us. So that's why this is so important, because it's about building those things so then that we can be able to afford that to the women, to the hers that are coming in. And so I just had to put that out. Like,
Absolutely.
I get so
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you said that, because I think that the word afford is so interesting. Because I think we afford what we want to afford. And this is not me negating people who live in poverty. I'm a social worker and I've worked with impoverished families for over 10 years. So I know what poverty looks like. I also have seen people who are living in poverty and not making investments in the wise places to lift themselves out of poverty. Again, I've seen both sides of it. So this is in no way am I knocking anyone who's experiencing poverty, because 2020 has knocked people who made six figures to their knees. So I really understand that. However, I'm thinking, like we kind of joked about, it being Black Friday and, people are going to be going out shopping. I'm just curious, what are you going to buy this season that's going to help you throughout the next couple of seasons? What are you investing in now that's going to make sure that in 10 years, it's going to be a knock your socks off type Christmas? So I'm always for, let's talk about how we can invest. Maybe I'm not going to be able to go get my hair and nails done like I want to, but my daughter will have a college fund. Maybe I'm not going to be able to have, one of those streaming services, but I'll have a network of community of women who can help me navigate that. So you just really want to think about where you're putting your energy and your resources. Is it scrolling on social media, or is it diving deep into the IgniteHer Country Club? Or, so just think about where we're investing those energy and resources, because you probably will find an extra dollar or two or extra minute or two to do something that's going to give you long lasting results.
Yes. Woo! That was a whole mouth nugget full right there, man. Thank you so much for that. It's not about, like you said, putting anyone down, but it's time for real talk. Like, if 2020 has not taught you anything, like you said, Jessica said, some people who were making six figures and all, and now they're scrounging, trying to rebuild and this and looking, and after we're behind, the eight ball, and like, let's get ahead of the eight ball, and let's put things in place and systems in place so that we won't be, facing these type of things when it comes, when it's unexpected. No one knew, like, this was the year, like 2020 was like, yes,
yeah, 2020 vision, that's gonna be awesome. But look what got in our sight. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's like perfect vision. 2020 is, and it was just like, wow, what happened? And so that is what we're saying. And now is the time. Like, my word actually for this year, I had to, it was like perfect vision. And then I just kept hearing as the year, well, I started out with perfect vision. Then I changed it. I said, okay, God, your perfect vision. But as that was in 2019. That was what I thought my word was. Then when 2020 rolled around, I kept hearing the word now, N-O-W. And I was like, what does that mean? Had no clue. Like, this was like early January. All January, February, I just kept hearing now. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Okay, yeah, now I know.
But even as you're saying that, and this is how the Holy Spirit is always going to be the coach that you need. I could be your career coach in the natural, but definitely need that coach internally. And as you're saying it, it's perfect vision, but it really was to perfect the vision. So that's why he wanted you to do it now. So we really are about perfecting the vision. We had so many things that got in our way, distractions, so many things to deter us from our path, but it really was about perfecting the vision.
Yes, absolutely. We got a comment. Let me see. Yeah. So they said, what are you going to buy that's going to help you 5-10 years from now? Great word.
Yes, Teresa. Yes, Teresa. Yes. Yes.
So thank you. I know that's right. It's so true. We just have to make sure that we are, and we Like, it's not easy, but that's why you find your community. That's why you find your people to help you. That's why you find your tribe. And then y'all work that thing together, like just work until the wheels fall off. And so it's really, really important. So
it's important to be authentic in them too. Like, that's one thing that, and this is not a knock on the body of Christ, because I love my body of Christ. However, sometimes we can say, oh, I'm blessed and highly favored, all is well, but your support team can't support you if you don't tell them you need the help. So be authentic in them. Be authentic. So when you're going into this IgniteHer club, if you're struggling with a resume, say, Jessica, I don't know what I'm doing, because that's what I'm here for. I can't help you unless you say something. Or any of the experts, listen, I'm struggling with my diet. I'm struggling with forgiveness. Whatever it is, raise your hand and say, I need, because that's what it's here for. Be authentic. Be authentic. That's what so that's the word that's in my spirit too, because you're not going to get the help because no one will know you need it. It's time. I know we're wearing masks to protect ourselves, but to protect ourselves or to progress ourselves, it's time to take the mask off. When we're in this group, we don't have to wear the mask. Take the mask off, and make sure, like I said, just be authentic. Say, I need help, sis. For goodness sakes, we're in prayer tour, so that's what you want to say. Listen, I need a prayer. And now people are not being nosy. They really are praying for you. It's time to take the masks off.
I had to write notes. I was like, that was a good word right there. Look, she over here, listen. She just over here preaching to the preacher. I'm like,
it's you. It's like when I get in a space with you, we could go on and on and on for hours. It's the energy you bring, sis. It's the authenticity that you bring.
I'm like, good grief, that's a whole word right there. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Of course, I always ask everyone, why IgniteHer? Like, what was it about IgniteHer that said, okay, yes, I want to? Because, like, I'm telling y'all, I literally met Jessica at a pitching contest, and I just met her there one time, and we just linked up on social media, and I started following her. She started following me. I was just like, hey, sis, support her. She would support me, and when God gave it to me, I was like, hey, I put the call, and she was right there, and so I thank you. But I always like to know why.
For two reasons. One, I always am honored and humbled by the opportunity to serve. I've never been one of those coaches or trainers or speakers who are like, yeah, get back to my secretary. I'll see if I can put you on my calendar. I just always am humbled that someone thought enough of me to have me attached to their dream. And I don't take that lightly, because I know we were both business owners, and so my business is my baby, and so I know to share that space leaves you incredibly vulnerable, and so I'm honored by that and humbled by that. That's one. The second thing is, like, again, I just can't get over the fact that so many other communities that are wealthy, they build in alumni associations to support the people that are coming behind them. They actually align you with a mentor the moment you start in their programs. They actually have study sessions just for people who want to be in your. So I've got to be a part of that. I've got to be a part of a community that is designed to help people excel. And so that's why I wanted to be a part of it, because I see that in private schools. I see that in those private institutions, and you have to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars just to get the secrets that people who look just like you can give you at something that's actually just an investment rate, not something that's going to break your bank, but actually going to build your bank across the well-being. So again, for those two reasons, I'm honored and humbled, and I cannot stand by and not help somebody else circumvent all the challenges I went through. I have to be able to give back.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was I'm kind of like I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting that, but because we've never really had that conversation. I mean, I'm serious. I just put the call out and they came. Like, I never even asked, and I've been asking people as I'm sitting down with you guys, as I'm sitting down with the experts, I'm asking that why. And so every time I hear an answer, it just gives me the chills. It just warms my heart, like, because it is so important, and I just want people to get it. I just want people to know that it's about more, it is an investment, and we have to start investing in ourselves. We have to, like, we have to invest in ourselves. We have to know our value. We have to know that we are all here for a purpose, and that is in God wants us to be in that purpose, so that we can help the others that are coming behind us, our children, their children, our sister, everybody. And so we have sown so much for so long, and now it's like, let's just sow it together so that we grow. And it doesn't make sense. We were out today. I said earlier today, we were out and praying, and I ran into a sister, and when she was showing me, her social media and stuff, and it was like the name that she put, it was like, I don't want to, but she was making reference to just how small her community is. And so I asked her, well, why is that? That's, and she said, because I just don't fool with a lot of people, and I just don't, I don't deal with a lot of people, because people, and I'm like, that is the thing that, like, just gets to my heart, because I'm like, it doesn't even have to be like that. And I'm not saying, have our inner circle, our family, and then it goes out from there. But we will never get to that level of where other communities are getting if we do not come together and just squash all of that and say, you know what, let's work. And I told her, I said, well, I said, my sister, I see so much potential in you, and I get it, I understand, but just think how much more you can do. And everybody doesn't have to be close, and that's not what you have to have some type of connection. You have to have some type of community, and so that we all can grow. I remember I posted something a while back, like, what is your sister waiting for you to do so that they can then go and do what they need to do? Because now your circle is small, and you holding Jessica waiting for me to birth my thing, because something that I have in this thing, so now that she can move on. And so that's what I mean when we just have to go out and just work together, and just come together and make this a sisterhood, a sistership, so that we can all grow, and that we can all link those pieces together.
Absolutely.
Like a chain.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, because I can preach forever, but I thank you, Jessica, for coming up on here, and may this fall where it needs to fall, and hear, the ears that need to hear. And like I said, just find your tribe, find your community. And if it's not IgniteHer, then that's cool. If it's something that I can even assist you with. If it's like, and some people are like, oh my God, don't say that. But no, like, because like you said, everybody's not a good fit, and it's okay.
And that is okay. Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things before I got on the call with you, I said, you know what? I want to share a secret. I want to share something with the people who joined with us today, because I was like, I'm excited about being able to share this announcement. But before I do, I just wanted to say it's okay. It's okay to have a spirit of discernment, to make sure you're picking your right tribe. It's not okay to continue to put roadblocks in front of your success by not selecting one. I'm so for a spirit of discernment. I'm the biggest introvert you're ever going to meet. So I'm the person that's sitting back and trying to take it all in. But it's not okay to create your own hurdles to your success by not joining a tribe. That's just me. Like you said, like, it might be another preacher. There's a church on every corner. So if you can't find that one in that particular that pulpit, go to the next pulpit. But it's not okay to continue to say, I'm not going to do it because of this. Just like there's plenty of people in the gym who are working towards their goals. They're going to keep on working towards, and they're not going to say, well, this machine is not getting it the way I need to get it. This trainer's not. No, they're going to make sure they reach those goals. So I definitely say use discernment, but don't create hurdles for yourself. The world is already going to create enough for us. And then my little secret, don't tell nobody, because my marketing manager going to be upset that I showed it to you, but don't say nothing. It's the work journal. Is a place to record how awesome you are. So if I'm not your career coach, that's okay. I've created a travel size career coach for you. And because Georgette allowed me into this space, when it releases, I'm going to give a special discount code to anybody who actually joins the IgniteHer Club. Only for you all. Only for you all, because you did exactly what she said, and you joined a sistership, and I want to honor your commitment. So That's my special secret. Shh, don't tell nobody. I know. But when it's time to be released, I'm going to make sure I send a special code to Georgette for those who decided to invest in their future, because I want to honor your investment.
Oh, you didn't even tell me
I know.
that.
I said I got a secret. I was like, I wanted to tell them offline, but yeah. But I mean, I guess when we were just talking about finding that right fit, I also wanted to say sometimes you can interact with someone and it not necessarily be the full relationship. Just like, our friendships, you got some associates, you got some girlfriends, and maybe that's your interaction. Like maybe they're supporting buying your shirts, Georgette, or maybe they're supporting joining the prayer call, and maybe that's where God is leading them right now. But I just want to let you know that you are being offered things by experts in the field, not people who are out after your dollars, but actually after your success. So I'm excited. I want to honor your commitment, and I'm going to do that by giving it to you at a discount rate. Again, I just announced this. I don't even think I put it on. I'm told everybody about it just yet, but I want to let you all know that that's what I want to do, because I want to honor your dream. Like you said, if you didn't, how are these people going to get what they need? You have a array of a lineup. You talking about socially, emotionally, physically, morally, and education wise. But if you didn't decide to be big, bad, and bold, where would those people be? So I'm excited.